Ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this is a Nerd World Order spoiler-free review of Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, as a nerd, there are four things that we look for in order to determine if a nerd movie is good or not, if any movie is good or not. You've got the acting, action, special effects, and the story. Put them all together, four possible nerd flags. So the wait's over. The third movie in the Spider-Man trilogy in the MCU. So the question that you're all asking me, the man that you call Dukes, for this Nerd World Order spoiler-free review is, does Spider-Man No Way Home live up to the hype? Let's get into it. The first thing we need to talk about is the acting. The acting in this movie was really good. All the actors, whether it be the villains, whether it be the supporting cast, whether it be Mr. Tom Holland, did a great job in this movie. They hit you with the feels. This movie gave you the gut punches, made you really feel for all the characters, the villains, the hero, the supporting cast. You really loved everyone in this movie. One very enthusiastic nerd flag for No Way Home. Let's move on to the action. Great spider action. Phenomenal spider action. It was a really fun movie to watch. There, of course, you're going to get a lot of flipping and a lot of shooting of the webs. This movie had great action, great spider action. The villains were really badass. The villains had some great fight scenes. Really, really liked the action. One very enthusiastic nerd flag for the action in No Way Home. Now let's move on to the special effects. This is a superhero movie. You got your explosions. You've got everything you would expect in your normal Marvel MCU movie. The special effects delivered. I really like the special effects. You know, it's really hard to talk about this movie without being a spoiler, but I'm doing my best. The villains all looked really believable, even the ones that were like 100% CGI. Spider-Man, all the fight scenes were believable, all the explosions, all the crashing and bang, it was all there. If you're counting, that's three nerd flags. Acting, action, and yes, special effects. Now let's get on to what could possibly be the most important part in any movie, because if you don't have a good story, it's just not going to work very well. This was a good story. I wouldn't say that it necessarily felt like a trilogy. I felt like this movie could have stood alone on its own. You didn't have to see the first one and two, you know, Far From Home, Homecoming. You didn't have to see those in order to enjoy No Way Home. But it was a good story. It was a very well self-contained story. I believe that the story was based on the Spider-Man book. Let's see here, A Brand New Day. I believe it was based on A Brand New Day, very loosely. Great story. Had a lot of emotional points, had a lot of action. It made sense. It set up other parts of the MCU. Four nerd flags for Spider-Man No Way Home. Another nerd flag coming? Yes! Do not leave until the credits are done. Not one after credits, post credit, after credit, and they're both so good. If you're a Spider-Man fan, after credits, the first mid credit, great. The after credits moves the MCU forward. Don't get out of your seat. You're thinking about it. Sit back down and wait. Jump on that after credit bandwagon. Sit through if you're a Marvel fan, why are you getting up? Why are you getting up until, like, if you see other people getting up, that doesn't mean anything. They're not diehard fans. These after credits are for the diehards. Moves the Tom Holland Spider-Man universe forward, moves the MCU forward. You're going to be excited. It's going to be great. If you're counting, that's not four. That's five out of a possible four nerd flags for Spider-Man No Way Home. Great movie. I just watched it. First thing I did was run home. I got to share this with the Nerd World Order. It was an awesome movie, and I have to let you all know, it does live up to the hype. It does deserve the selling out as quickly as it did. I'm going to go watch it again tomorrow. Why? Because I accidentally bought tickets for Friday. But besides that, I'm watching it again tomorrow. 5 nerd flags. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd Gold Order, I am NWO, we are NWO, and we are Nerds Redefined.